Hi, everybody. This is Auntie, and let's talk all things Cardi B. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my new listening reviews. All in all, you have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie's advice. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie's advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie's advice. So, Cardi B recently took to the stage outside of the courthouse, letting everybody know that the next person who files a frivolous lawsuit against her, she is countersuing. You all may be saying, Auntie, what are you talking about? Let's get into it. Shall we? Hmm. Oh, yes, we shall. So, hold on, wait a minute. Okay. So, let me pull up my handy dandy notebook so that we can go over this. In early September of 2025, nope, I'm sorry. Oops, sorry. Hold on, y'all. Hoping everybody had a great day. I gotta find my notes. I got so many notes. Okay, so a former security guard by the name of Emani Ellis filed a civil lawsuit back in 2020, alleging that in February of 2018, while Cardi was visiting a Beverly Hills OB-GYN office, that Cardi scratched her face with a long fingernail, spat on her, and used racial slurs. Imani claimed she suffered emotional and physical harm, a facial scar, job loss, and damage to her potential law enforcement career. In this lawsuit that she filed in 2020, she wanted $24 million in damage. So I wanted to cover this and talk about this because when I saw this, I was like, what are we doing? Where are we going with this? You know, all of the things that I'm going to say are my views, and some of them will be factual. What's factual was factual. What is not are my views and my opinions. And I will be discussing them under fair use. Now, I watched some of this trial. Of course, Cardi is someone who does not know how to play possum. She does not sometimes know how to maintain in the membrane. And when I say that, I mean maintaining a face where you're not affected by things. So oftentimes she is seen as being disrespectful, not taking things seriously, and the like. However, on this one, Cardi said, we're going to court. There have been many stars and many, let's say, fairly rich people who have settled lawsuits with people who filed frivolous lawsuits against them because they just wanted to go away. But $24 million is a lot of money. It is a lot of money for anybody. You get up, and you do your job every day. You go to work because you're making a living, right? Because you want, a life that you want, right? And you stay in and you choose a life that you can afford. Some people live outside their means, but I digress on that. And so what may be $200,000 to you, right, is $24 million to Cardi. Nobody wants someone taking anything away from them unless they actually did it. So when I saw this case and I saw the young lady sitting on there, I was looking for the scar. I mean, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, where's the scar? Like, I'm looking for the scar. Cardi, during the trial, denied any physical contact with this young lady. She said, in quotes, she couldn't get a scratch from me because I didn't touch her. And then she added they had a heated verbal exchange, were chest to chest, but nothing became physical. But why would you, being a security guard, get into an argument with a lady who was coming to her OB-GYN appointment? Why? Why? This is why Cardi said the next person who tries to do a frivolous lawsuit against me, I'm going to countersue you and I'm going to make you pay because this is not okay. I am not that celeb that you sue and you think is going to settle. I'm not going to settle, especially when I'm super completely innocent. She said that she did not touch her. Okay. So I'm like, what happened? So I went to my handy dandy, okay, and I found out that there was an altercation between Cardi and the security guard downtown to the OBGYN office. Okay. The receptionist and the OBGYN both presented testimony and testified that there was no contact from Cardi and that Alice was the aggressor. She was the aggressor, according to them. The receptionist, Tiara Malcolm, told the jurors that she saw Alice corner Cardi, and then when the receptionist got between them, the guard reached for her. The receptionist said she ended up with a cut on her own forehead. Dr. David Fink testified that he saw the guard cause the injury and also hit the receptionist on the shoulder. He further said that Alice had no injuries on her face. Both of them testified they never saw Cardi put a finger on her. But because she has those long fingernails, she used that to say that Cardi assaulted her. Yes, Megan said, if you invade my privacy, record without consent, and made me feel threatened while I was pregnant, you are not getting a dime from me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cardi said, you know, she said, you don't work all day and you don't work for your money to give out your money. So don't ever think I'm going to give you my money that I worked hard for. And I'm trying to tell you, I don't blame her. She also said that, she had to miss her children's first day of school. I think that what people don't realize is that celebrities are people too, with responsibilities and families and all the like, right? And I just wanted to come out here not to give a whole bunch of a background and go into the case and all of that kind of stuff. I just came out to say Cardi winning. Good for her. Good for her. The jurors, a 12-member juror, I think it was 12, decided we ain't got it to do. She stands out and she says, I showed up, I showed out, I did what I was supposed to do, but you ain't get that money. $24 million for a scratch on your nose? Since when does a scratch on your nose cost $24 million? People have been in fender benders and have almost lost their lives and didn't get 24 million. The what she wanted to be awarded didn't even match a scratch on the nose. By the way, I did look it up to see, okay? I did look it up to see that, hold on, let me bring it up. They said Emani testified that she underwent plastic surgery for the scratch that Cardi allegedly put on her nose. She wanted to treat the scars, and she claimed they were caused by Cardi B's fingernails. She said the cuts left her with lasting marks that require cosmetic surgery. That can be found in page 6 and courttv.com. However, coverage shows no record that Ellis, actual plastic surgeon, that she even had a plastic surgeon testify in court. Instead, they say her claims about needing and receiving plastic surgery were introduced through her own testimony and filings, but not corroborated by a treating physician on the stand. In contrast, Cardi's side presented both the doctor, like I said, and OB-GYN, who testified that they saw Ellis cut her own face and that she did not witness Cardi B touch her. That undermined Ellis's medical claim. So how if you get cut and you have you trying to go for pain and suffering, how do you not have somebody there to corroborate when you say that you had surgery? Because wouldn't that doctor gain something from that lawsuit if it really happened? Girl, bye, stop. Girl, stop. I think it's just utterly embarrassing. It's just embarrassing to me to make such an allegation and you don't have any proof, allegedly, according to the papers. According to the sources. Won't not one. Not one. She said that she attacked her unprovoked during a visit. She claimed that she violently, unlawfully, intentionally, subtly, and maliciously hit her head, face, and body, leaving her with physical and emotional damages. She claimed that Carly spat on her and used multiple profanities and even racial slurs. She also accused her of working with unnamed people to have all recorded footage of the incident erased. How would that benefit Cardi? In Cardi's filing against her, she claimed that Alice was on her personal phone and loudly announced she had just seen the rapper and appeared to be trying to record video of her in her private space in her gynecologist's office. Stairwell. Don't nobody who is having a baby wants you to record them going to their OB-GYN, whether it's a star or not. I think that people don't realize that they have their privacy and should be granted that privacy like every other woman in the country. I don't want nobody going to see when I'm going to get a. You don't need to know when I'm going to my gyno. And nobody needs to know that she is entitled to her privacy. And Cardi says the girl started recording and was telling people Cardi up here. So wait, like what? Why would you do that? That just doesn't even make sense to me. Cardi said it. What else did she say? Hold on. She went to a private appointment at her doctor's office in Beverly Hills. And at the time, she was approximately 4 months pregnant with her first child and was keeping the news of her pregnancy private and out of the tabloids. And she has a right to that. But now she's saying that Ellis was on her phone and was telling everybody or loudly announced that she had just seen her and was trying to record her. Cardi says she asked Ellis not to say anything to anyone, but rather than take steps to de-escalate the situation. Emani aggressively approached Cardi and engaged her in a profanity-laced screaming match. And you know you ain't gonna win with no daggone Cardi B. But I tell you what, she should have countersued her. Ellis' lawsuit was seeking medical expenses, damages, or loss of past and future earnings, punitive damage, and a civil penalty of $25,000. So let's go through a little bit of it. During the plaintiff's closing argument, that was presented by Ron Rosen Janfas, whatever, Janfaca. He told the jurors that Ellis deserves compensation for medical bills, emotional distress, and future treatment related to a facial scar that none of us saw. He told the jurors that just because Cardi B is a celebrity, it doesn't mean that she can just say and do whatever she wants and attack people. He also said that Alice worked as a security guard for 4 years, lost her future in security work because of trauma from the alleged incident. Maybe that was because she had her cell phone out. But anyway, I digress. He described the alleged confrontation, saying that Cardi B became angry when she thought that she was recording her on the phone, despite the young lady repeatedly saying she was not recording and was simply doing her job. You shouldn't have had your phone out then. Anyway, okay. He criticized Cardi's testimony, saying her use of profanity was disrespectful to the court. He emphasized that his client's goal in pursuing a lawsuit was to achieve closure and to move forward with her life. The defense argument came from Peter Anderson. He argued that the plaintiff failed to prove that Cardi caused her any injuries. Again, as I already stated, we was a doctor that did the plastic surgery on her. Where were the hospital bills from the scratch that was downtown on her face? He emphasized uncorroborated testimony, no physical evidence, and alternatives for the alleged scar cause. He argued that the profanity that she was doing, the profanity, arguing, and yelling, weren't actionable offenses. And Cardi's actions were justified. Independent witnesses also supported her story. They said by her own incident report, she apologized for misconduct and did not mention a bleeding injury in her report. She claimed that Cardi threw something at a reporter, and she did, and stared at the plaintiff family. Okay, but the judge said that he didn't witness the incidents, but noted, okay. But Cardi said, you know what? She won. The jury found it. Okay. But guess what? At the end of the day, she did not win. Because on day 3 of the trial, Cardi returned to the stand to continue her testimony, where she conceded that she came chest to chest with this woman, but denied that she put her hands on her or scratched her nose. She said that they did have a verbal altercation, but she never assaulted her by scratching her. She said her nails were in a coffin style at the time with flat rhinestones. She said that would not have been dangerous or able to scratch anybody. Cardi said she was pregnant at the time with her child and viewed herself as disabled and unable to fight back. After 45 to 50 seconds of a verbal altercation, Cardi B said a receptionist came out to intervene. And then when Dr. Fink came out also, the doctor sent her into his office, which ended the confrontation. And that's ridiculous because you are a security guard there to make sure that the woman is safe. You're not there to be having a confrontation with somebody. Who does that? After a while, you're going to have to really have some hard proof to start going after people. And I'm sure that it will be noted in the file where she goes, if this young lady decides she wants to try to sue somebody else. And then the thing about it is you lost your job and you didn't even get a picture of her. You didn't get nothing that you could sell to the paparazzi. Like you ain't get nothing out the deal. Nothing out the deal. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I just wanted to throw out a couple of little things. Cardi won. And great on her. And she said the next mofo that come up in her face talking about talking about a lawsuit, she countersuing because you ain't gonna take her money. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about it. Bye, y'all.